So as you know, we're a specialist ABM agency. We only do ABM, and a lot of our clients look to us to help them, build out excellence in their programs. And I know you've been working at an SAP ABM Center of Excellence. So I'm keen to understand what's the kind of motivation behind that, how are you approaching it, what the kind of goals of that Center of Excellence actually are.
What originally started out to be is not what it is today. What it is today, and it goes back to what you said, over time you've got to gain the credibility, you've got to prove some pilots, you've got to prove out a certain number of things before you can actually become a Center of Excellence. And because of the size of SAP, we have ABMers around the world that are doing account-based marketing, but they may be doing it in different ways, they may be looking at it different ways. So as we've evolved into the Center of Excellence, that means that we've gained the confidence of the people around the world. They come to us for our expertise. That's the start, right? But then what we want to do is form what we call an ABM council within our own company. So we have these ABMers in region, we have ABMers at some of our sister companies that we've purchased over the years that are doing account-based marketing, but again, doing it slightly differently. That needs to be coordinated, it needs to be, best practices need to be shared. So as part of the Center of Excellence and how it's growing is starting the ABM Council, and we also do a bi-monthly community call. So we have calls where we communicate externally to the larger organization, but we're also forming the ABM Council.
Okay. So we have a lot of clients who come to us and ask, what is best practice? And that's a kind of recurring theme. I think there's a lot of hunger out there to understand what best practice ABM looks like and what it means. So we have evolved a process that we share with our clients in terms of how you run an ABM program end to end, all the way from the insight right through to execution and running campaigns. So is there a formal SAP model of ABM, a formal best practice model? How do you kind of share that? How do you kind of share the goodness that you've achieved within such a large enterprise with so many different kind of pockets of marketing activity?
Well, we're just starting to do that, right? So first of all, it is going to get people on board with this process that you speak of, this basically almost 7-step process, and getting everyone to do it not exactly the same, because we're not trying to tell them how to do it. We're trying to share our best practice, and they can adapt it to how they already do things, because we want what's working for them to continue to work for them, but we also want to learn from them. So it's a best practice sharing back and forth now. The other part of that is the scalability. So based on what we've already done over the past 3 years, as we've been doing that, the whole end game of that was not only produce great stuff for our current sellers and current accounts, but produce great stuff that could be replicated or reusable, repurposed for other accounts. So the thinking is, if it works for 7 of the largest automakers in the world, it's probably going to work for a lot of other automakers around the world. And so what we've done is we've created assets that can be shared across the company, that can be repurposed, that can even be reversioned completely. You can take the base core asset for automotive and change it to oil and gas. And by doing that, you're allowing people to get similar types of assets, tell the same type of story, but to a wholly different audience and a totally different customer.
I get what you're saying. I think from our perspective, best practice it's not like it's a fixed thing that stays static. Actually, best practice is evolving. If I compare the agency now to 2 or 3 years ago, the amount of time and energy we spend in terms of actually training internally, trying to upskill people on innovation as well, that's kind of dialed out dramatically. I think that kind of reflects the fact that the ABM sector is maturing, and it is changing too. So what worked last year might not work this year. So you've got to be constantly rethinking, re-examining, reshaping the way you run the program. And we have this program internally where ABM stands for account-based marketing, but internally it stands for All Bright Minds, which is a way of actually trying to raise everyone's game across the agency in terms of their skill sets and their understanding, as part of that kind of trying to really consolidate that ABM expertise in I guess in a way that's similar to your kind of excellence center as well.
Yes, absolutely. Always trying to get better. always trying to push the envelope.
Yeah.
I mean, we do that with you guys, right?
Yeah.
We continually asking
Yeah.
you to do other things, different things,
Yeah.
and you guys are
Yeah.
delivering all the time. But if we're not pushing you and you're not pushing us, so it's a partnership relationship.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of relationship has to happen within our company, with our other sister companies as well. As we push each other, we all push you, you push us, and everybody's coming out winners and creating new best
Yeah.
practices.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay.